What's up, y'all? It's your girl Jay Rene with Prison Ride Radio. I hope that you're doing well. This evening we have a brother on the phone that goes by Basil, and we're gonna talk to him about, just some of the things that's going on in Virginia. As we know, there's a lot of states that are doing the wrong thing when it comes to criminal justice, and we like to bring light specifically to states when we find someone or someones that know a little bit more than we do. So tonight we're gonna be talking about Virginia. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, sis. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you. I appreciate you for coming on tonight so you can share this knowledge with the people of what's going on in Virginia. For sure.
Absolutely.
All right, so go ahead. I was about to ask you a question, but you got it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ask the question.
I was just going to ask you, what made you want to pretty much just bring light to the things that's going on in the Virginia Correctional institution?
First, after having gone through my own trial experience and serving over 20 years in the system of Virginia, I came to learn that there were several things going on that led to mass incarceration.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had a choice. I could be part of the solution or part of the problem. Sitting around quiet and just going about my business and doing my thing and worried about me and my family meant that I was basically doing nothing. And to do nothing is to acquiesce in the egregious examples of abuse of powers that happen in the systems out here in Virginia. So I began to learn the law that applied to my case. I saw that there were others around me that had similar issues. When you see these kind of things, you realize, wow, okay, well, I have an opportunity here to learn the law from the most intimate perspective. When you're behind this wall, you learn the letter of the law, you learn the spirit of the law because you understand how the law affects you. Something I came to understand is that there are a lot of lawyers out there that know the law. How they use the law is a totally different story. So I said, well, if I can learn how to use the law in a proper way, maybe I can effectuate some change out here positively to help stem the tide of people coming in the system or being so oppressed by the sentences that they receive if they're convicted.
Okay.
So that's what brought me to the law, to learn the thing that I've learned about law.
Okay. I know that before we started recording, you had told me about something that really blew my mind, about a brother that got charged with 35 years for stealing some DVDs. I think that you should share that with the people so we can get a real snapshot on the injustices and over sentencings that's happening.
Okay. Before I get into the case, let me say this right here. I personally have to agree that anytime you're going to represent someone as their attorney, you have to subject the state's case to an adversarial test. Anytime there's no longer an adversarial test, the right to effective assisted counsel has been lost. If your counsel is simply there to walk you through the court, to be a mere friend of the court, to just guide you through the proceedings, then that's not an attorney on your behalf at all. So in Virginia, what has happened is that a common theme is that there are lawyers who they fail to familiarize themselves with their client's version of what happened. They fail to familiarize themselves with their client's version of the events, or whether or not they were there involved at all. They come into the courtroom after having only met their clients maybe once or twice, sometimes 3 times at the most, and then they're there for the day of trial. And the only thing they know is the prosecution's version of what happened. Okay, and Bubbles, this guy right here, Bubble, that's what he's affectionately known by us in the system, Bubble.
Okay.
Bubba's real name is, and he told me I could put this out here, Kenneth Mathews.
Yes.
He's 62 years old. He got locked up 10 years ago. When Bubba first came to me and told me his case, I'm going to be honest, I was skeptical that, hey, okay, either this guy is lying his ass off or he just misunderstood the facts in his case. Bubba didn't strike me as an unintelligent person, so I said, hey, don't tell me what happened, show it to me. He brought me his transcripts, every motion for discovery file, every response file by the prosecution, every motion, and I was blown away because here's what happened. Now I want to argue this from I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. We're gonna put everything in the Commonwealth's favor because in Virginia this is what they do. Once you've lost the case, the Court of Appeal reviews everything in the light most favorable to the prosecution. In Bubba's case, the prosecution put a case on that Bubba, who's African American and a white guy, went to Walmart to steal. The evidence, according to them, was that they went into the Walmart. The white guy stole 2 DVD players. Mm-hmm. Bubba allegedly stole 4 DVDs. As they were leaving the store, the property loss prevention officer stopped them, or attempted to stop them. The white guy dropped the 2 DVD players, ran off. Bubba ran off with the 4 DVDs, opposite directions. They eventually caught the white guy. The white guy claimed that he and Bubba had gone there to steal together. Agreed to testify that Bubba was there stealing with him. The white guy was given probation, no jail time. Bubba was given 35 years for stealing 4 DVDs.
Say it again, because I don't think they really heard what you just said.
He was given 35 years for stealing 4 DVDs. Now, unless these DVDs were made out of like goddamn national secrets or made out of platinum with diamonds, I can't fathom that. I can't understand how you get to that point. Now, that's what happened. But there was some things that happened in between, because you ask yourself, well, how do you get there?
Right.
The very first thing that shocked me with Bubba's case was he had a preliminary hearing. At that preliminary hearing, the property prevention officer, the loss prevention officer, testified that she had a DVD showing clearly that Bubba was taking these DVDs and putting them to his pants. Bubba told the court he did not do this. The lady was lying on him and asked him to produce the video. She said that she didn't have it at the time, but she would bring it. The judge remanded his case over for trial before the circuit court. When they got the trial to the circuit court, prior to trial, Bubba told his lawyer to get the DVDs. They filed a motion for discovery. Bubba said he wanted a jury trial. Bubba's attorney told him, hey, wait until we get discovery, and then we will file a motion for a jury trial. So she delayed request for the jury trial. 3 days before trial, the lawyer who had discovery actually had the discovery for Bubba about a month prior to she filing for her filing for the jury trial. Bubba said he called the courthouse and found out that she filed for a bench trial. He said during the bench, when he found this out, he called his lawyer like, hey, I told you I want a jury trial, not a bench trial. So she changed it to a jury trial. When she got to court, she told the judge, hey, we need a continuance. My client just asked me for a jury trial. Bubba refuted this. He showed the judge his phone logs on his cell phone showing that, hey, that's not correct. I called her on these dates. I asked for a jury trial, and here is the date I actually contacted her, versus her saying that he just contacted her. The judge told his lawyer, well, I read the transcripts. The judge told the attorney, well, there's not much difference between a jury trial and a bench trial, so you're going to have to go ahead today. We're going to give you a jury, but you're going to have to do it today. The lawyer said, Your Honor, I'm not prepared. I haven't prepared to argue before a jury. They forced him to go to trial.
Wow.
When the property prevention officer, the loss prevention officer, was put on the stand, she was asked by Bubba's lawyer, hey, where is this smoking gun DVD that you claim to have? The lady said, it's not compatible with the court system, so I didn't bring it. They were asked, well, how did you hear that this wasn't compatible with the court system? She never gave an answer to that. Like, to this day, no answer has been given. But they didn't continue the trial. They didn't, bring the DVD. And at the end of the day, they finally admitted that they don't have it. It went from her having the DVD. So they said, oh, well, I saw it with my eyes.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
Bubba has been down 10 years. Bubba's 62 years old. They've been out since he was 52 years old. Wait a minute. Here is the worst part about it. The Virginia Sentencing Commission has sentencing guidelines for various crimes out here. Bubba guidelines call for 2 years and 6 months, 4 years and 2 months at the mid-range, 5 years and 2 months at the high range. That was the high range of his sentencing guidelines.
Right.
The judge gave Bubba literally 7 times what his guidelines called for a crime where no one was injured. We talking about stealing DVDs out of Walmart.
Wow.
Matthew, his name is Keith Mathews. He currently has a petition for clemency pending before the Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin. Unfortunately, in Virginia right now, we have a dilemma where the parole board has been fired by the General Assembly refused to accept the parole board. So we don't have a parole board currently. So we don't have anyone to review for clemency petitions.
Wow.
But we're asking anyone out there to call into the governor's office, send emails, preferably by emails, because there's a new portal that allows you to contact the governor's office on people's behalf for clemency, and you will actually get a receipt showing that you contacted them.
Okay.
So that's Bubba. It would be so good if we say, okay, Bubba was just a rare case. However, it's not. you recently spoke to Swift, Azar Henderson. He's a guy that I've come to know very well. He's probably one of the more intellectual guys that I know. But very, very intelligent. And he applied. Let me tell you why I decided to help him. It didn't even have anything to do with his case initially. It's how he carries himself. He stays. Excuse my language. He stays away from the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
He treats his peers the way he wants to be treated. You know, I'm a Muslim. He's 5%. We get along great.
Right.
Because we meet, we find our points of mutual understanding.
Yeah.
How you live and not treat people in a savage manner.
Right.
How you hold yourself accountable for whatever it was you did that led to you being here. See, you may not have done what you did, they said you were here for, or everything they said you did, but we know we did something that a lot of times that landed us in where we are. So self-accountability.
Right.
And he holds himself accountable. So I actually approached him like, bro, what are you locked up for? Because something didn't sit right in my spirit about this guy being locked up. So he's like, yeah, he was kind of reluctant to get into it. He's like, man, okay, well, this is what happened. Now, I've been knowing him since 2018 when I came back from Colorado. I'm like, wow, okay, well, wow, bro.
Right.
I'm like, yo, do you know that? He say, man, I know something was wrong, but I really don't know the law like that. I just know little things about my case. So as he began to explain things to me, I'm like, okay, don't tell me, show me. That's my motto.
Right.
He began to show me his transcripts. The first thing in his case that just jumped off the page to me was his this stressed me out so bad. I'm sorry. The alleged victim in this case owed him money, and he went to get his money back. They got into a physical altercation. When he talked to you, he didn't bring this up. The guy's girlfriend was white. She jumped into the physical altercation. His guy jumped into the physical altercation. It was a ruckus.
Right.
Well, I can get this guy this right here. This dude knew how to alleviate that. Hey, call the police. Say this guy robbed me. Say he busted me in the head with a gun. The police came, and I'm telling you, when I read the transcript, I couldn't believe it. It shocked me. Because to this fucking day, no one has called the prosecution on this point right here. The man said he hit me with a gun. I know because I shot that gun before. They said, describe the gun. He said, I can't describe the gun. I don't remember what it looked like. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. How the hell you know someone hit you with a gun? And you knew it was a gun because you shot that gun before. The only way you would know you shot the gun before is what you recognized.
Right.
Meaning you know how it looks.
Right.
But when asked to describe it, you can't describe it. Does that make sense to you, sis?
It doesn't.
But what has happened in Swift's case is when you get a lawyer that you only meet 3 times before you go to trial, where you're facing damn near a life sentence in prison, how did his lawyer familiarize himself with the case?
Right.
How did his lawyer arm himself with the tools that would allow him to impeach the state's witnesses?
Right.
He didn't.
Right.
He didn't. There was never any intentions. The lawyer's intentions were, hey, let's get him in court and plead him out.
Because he assuming guilt, pretty much. Like, yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Had it stopped there, I'd be like, okay, Swift, you're kind of messed up, man. But hey, man, you kind of stuck with it. But here is the thing right here that just really ticked me off personally. I'm a paralegal. This personally offended me. The foreman of the jury came out during his sentencing phase and said, Your Honor, we want to know, can we run this time concurrent or consecutively? They wanted to run the time concurrent. The judge told them, listen to this, don't concern yourself with that. So the jury left the courtroom, went back to deliberate, ill-informed of the law.
Right.
They had no clue that whatever number they gave this man was going to be sentenced in one way or another. How in the hell do we say in Virginia, the jury is responsible for sentencing? When the jury itself comes out and says, hey, how do we do this?
Right.
Hey, can you instruct us on how this goes? There is something called jury nullification. A jury, watch this here, a jury can deadlock on sentencing. And the law in Virginia says if a jury deadlocks on sentencing, you have a right as a matter of law to impanel another jury to sentence you, or you can waive the right and have a bench, the judge, to sentence you. But by you not informing the jury as to what the law is,
right,
with regards to how they are to sentence or how that sentence will be carried out, hey, they're sent back there to come up with something. unfortunately, when people don't know the law, there are times where they err on the side of caution because they think, okay, well, he may get parole or he may have it ran concurrent. We think he should do sometime. Okay, well, and again, we are not allowed to violate the sanctity of the jury's deliberations. However, we are human beings. We can kind of guesstimate like how people think in situations like this, and they err on the side of giving a guy a sentence because they want him to serve something. Because they feel, okay, well, he did go there to get money, and they got into an altercation. Had he not gone, maybe this would never happen. And you give a guy this time, but like I said, the judge specifically told them not to concern themselves with the law.
Right.
So now he's sitting here. Now watch this right here. Now you're sitting here and you get, I think, 21 years, 19 active to serve.
Right.
For a case where literally, then watch this right here. They use this a co-defendant. They scared this dude shitless. They charged this dude with all these crimes that were facing so much time. What do you think God doing in a case like that? It's like, hey, either you cooperate or else. What do you think his option was? All right, I'll say something. Well, this is what happened. All right, well, it was a robbery because he was going to get money that the guy owed him, but he didn't have a gun. Well, wait a minute, that's your star witness.
Right. Your
star witness just contradicted your victim. Your star witness just said that he did not have a gun.
Wow.
Wait a minute, that's not all. No. If it ended there again, okay, they took, now watch this, they are co-defendants. Same incidents. You know what they did with the co-defendants trial? Gave them a separate trial. Separate the cases.
Right.
How much time you think the co-defendant got?
I don't know.
5 years. One got 18 months. Same incident. But again, we're giving the state all the evidence. Everything is said. The victim, we have to go by the victim's own words. I was hit with a gun. I know it was a gun because I shot the gun before. Now, don't that tell you something right there? What? Yeah. If this guy was a stranger that robbed you, why were you shooting his gun before?
Right. It's
very according to them. Yeah. This was an opportunistic robbery. What was you doing shooting this guy's gun? Because y'all had a relationship prior to the day. Mm-hmm. This alleged incident. Right. So this is what happened in Swift's case. So right now, the fortunate with Swift, Azad, is that Azad Henderson has a clemency petition that's pending. I wrote a letter calling for on my supporters and various other supporters out there to come together and write. I put everybody's email address up there to send that support letter in. I know a lot of times people want to help us. They want to do something, but they don't know exactly what to do. So what I've learned is that if you give people something to get behind, you give them email addresses to send it to. It's easier to start an email writing campaign than it is to ask you to write individual letters. Mm-hmm. If we get behind it, like right now in Virginia, we have Republicans in office, but I refuse to believe that just because we have Republicans in office versus Democrats, that we're going to be denied justice. Because right is right. They serve at the behest of the people. So when the people are calling upon them to give someone mercy, to give someone a second chance to re-enter society, then the presumption is that they are going to listen to the will of the people. Fair thought?
It's a fair thought. That's what they're supposed to do. Yeah, bro. I'm disgusted. I am flabbergasted. I'm kind of speechless, and I always got something to say. I really don't know what to say right now. I don't know what to say. What else is going on in Virginia?
I want to touch briefly on two other brothers. One of the other names, his name is Johnny Chapman. Real fast. He was in a nightclub. Fight broke out. He got jumped by several guys. Shooting started. Guy got shot. All right. He's locked. He get arrested for it. While he's arrested, he gets a court appointed attorney. The day of trial, he goes to court expecting he has witnesses to show up. His attorney, Brian Small, this dude needs to be put out there. The brother name is Johnny Chapman, the one that kept caught the charges. His lawyer name is Brian Smalls. Brian Smalls sent his witness subpoenas to the wrong address. There were friends of the victim that later wrote statements that they were going to testify at his trial that they were standing beside Johnny when their friend got shot, and that Johnny was not the one that pulled the trigger. Where his lawyer sent the subpoenas for them to the wrong addresses. He repeatedly told the judge, "I'm not ready for trial." Long story short, the judge made them go to trial. The judge, in fact, I just had him to read this to you. You have to hear this shit. You can't make this up. Listen to this. This is this judge's reasoning. Okay. With regard to the witnesses, the judge said they need to be here. Then, for inexplicable reasons, he followed that ruling by saying, "But I'm not going to continue the case based on that, given the situation, so I'll deny the motion." The motion was for a continuance to get the witnesses there, to send the subpoenas to the right address. But the judge actually admitted that those witnesses needed to be there. They were material witnesses that went to his defense. It never happened. His lawyer ill-advised him, "Hey, go ahead and take a plea bargain. That way we can buy some time. You take the plea bargain, they'll continue the case. And then with sentencing, between now and sentencing, we'll withdraw the plea bargain, and you can get your witnesses in that time." He did it. Suffice it to say that not only did they not deny the plea bargain, they denied the motion to withdraw the plea bargain, and they wound up giving him 17 years. To this day, he has numerous witness statements affidavit from the victim's friends that he never shot this guy. Wow. They won't overturn it, and he has a habeas corpus pending right now in court. So that's just another example of an attorney doing something egregiously wrong. One more guy, Brian Pulley, good friend of mine. Brian was offered a plea bargain in Dinwiddie County, one of the most racist counties in Virginia. He was also a plea bargain for 5 years on a robbery charge if he waived his preliminary hearing. He agreed. He waived the preliminary hearing. All he was waiting for was to go for sentencing. He had another charge pending in Chesterfield that he denied committing, so he took it to trial. He went to trial out there. He was acquitted by the jury, found not guilty. Upset that was in Chesterfield County. Upset that Chesterfield County did not convict him, the prosecutor in Dinwiddie County refused to honor the plea bargain of the 5 years they agreed to give him. So they prosecuted him. They wound up giving him 25 years in Dinwiddie County without the benefit of having a preliminary hearing, because he waived it based on that plea deal. Now, Virginia has since changed its law. Under 18.2-58, it said that if a person never had a weapon and a victim does not sustain injury, robbery only carries 1 to 5 years in that if it's of that nature. Whereas until recently, robbery in Virginia, no matter what it was, carried 5 to life. So he has 25 years for a nonviolent robbery that they agreed to give him 5 years for. They denied him clemency. His clemency was denied during a time where politics were playing a huge role out here in Virginia with them granting certain clemencies. So he's refiling for clemency. I'm working with him right now to refile. And he's acting. If there's anyone out there listening, he's trying to hire an attorney. His family has actually put a little money together to hire an attorney out here in Virginia. We need someone reputable. And that's going to come out here and fight. We don't need one who's going to walk into the process. I will be acting as a consultant on that case, and I won't be charging. So,
wow, bro.
Yes. Okay, so those are the guys that I have personally been assisting and trying to take these cases to an end. If you go to a brother named Don's page, or Basil Abdullah's Facebook, or Big Don 78 on Instagram. These pages are dedicated just to getting guys out of here and calling attention to the situation out here in Virginia with regards to the court systems out here. Since I know that we don't have a lot of time, so I just wanted to focus on those guys in particular. There are a lot of things that happen out here in the prison system. I have won a lot of lawsuits out here. And I would love to get a chance at some point to talk about those things. But right now, I want to focus on those guys, their situations, and keep doing the best we can to get them free.
Yeah, we definitely gonna chat again. Everything that you know, I definitely want to expose it to the people so that we are well informed, so we know how to fight. I'm hoping that that people are listening, especially those in Virginia. We need to. You mean y'all are not alone? You know what I mean? Anything that y'all need from Prison Riot Radio and my constituents is definitely available. I'm blown away. I really don't know what to say. The person of so many words. I don't know what to say. I believe it. I know it happens all across the country, you know, and that's just one place that you're talking about. You told me about 3 or 4 people. Now just imagine if just every facility only got 3 or 4 people. You know what I mean? You know it's way more than that, but it's like, man, it's something else. It's something else. I know the brothers definitely appreciate having you in their corner and advocating for them. I definitely appreciate you. Like I said, this is just part 1 of many, because we got to get all this information out, bro.
Yes.
Dang,
we have to live by the motto, sis. If not me, then who? If not now, then when? Like, we don't have another 5, 10, 15 years to get these guys out of here.
Right.
We have to. There's a window of opportunity. You know, the same way I fought for myself is the same way that I have to fight for these guys. I don't fight for them as if they are those guys. I fight for them as if they are me.
Right.
Because I needed someone to love me and to love on me and to care about me enough to help, because it can get disheartening in here after so many years. You lose the case, you lose your appeal, you lose your habeas corpus. If your family is able to scrape any money up to try to get you an attorney, you wind up losing that also. So after having so much loss, you know, you say, okay, well, how do we think outside the box? How do we associate with people who are like-minded? We know that they use silent weapons for silent wars in our neighborhoods.
Right.
And we have, and they're sophisticated. And a lot of times the problem is that we can't recognize what it is that's exactly being done. So when you get behind these walls, you have a chance to slow down. And you say, whoa, wait a minute. Okay. And you begin to be able to put your finger on what's happening.
Right.
Once you are able to identify it, then you are able to cry out for help.
Right.
And to get with galvanize with similarly situated people to effectuate change. So when I say that you are a blessing, when I first heard of you, I was like, no way, we don't have anyone out there doing that. Like, yes, we do. And I'm like, oh, man, alhamdulillah. Allah is merciful. Allah is great to give us an opportunity, a platform, a forum that we can get our voices out there.
Yeah.
You know? So thank you. Thank you. We love you. We appreciate you.
I appreciate that, bro. It's for the people, man. It's for the people.
Absolutely.
Like I said, you still got me like with my mouth wide open, you know, but I definitely want to dive into this more and put some stuff out there so the people can see what's going on. I want to put our part when it comes to, you know, those email zaps and those phone zaps or whatever is needed. You know what I mean?
Yes. Absolutely. So we're going to continue to build. Like, we're going to continue to build. God willing, we'll continue to build. Inshallah.